everyone. Today I got Zee Langford. He's in Airbnb mainly, but he has scaled up really quickly. But wait, I'll let him do the intro. So, why am I doing the intro? Zee, I guess, get into what you do, what you used to do before to what you do now.
Yeah, so just a little bit about my history, my bio. Grew up in Kansas, Bueller, Kansas to be exact. Went to high school there, transferred to Kansas State University, where I was a state FFA officer for a year. It's where I would accredit most of my speaking skills to, and my connecting skills, my networking skills are definitely from that background. That was key to, I guess, my success. I went to college, majored in agronomy. Got out of college, never used that a day in my life. So agronomy is the study of crops. Never used that until I met my wife, married her, and the most I use my degree is to talk to my father-in-law and my brother-in-law about farming. That's the extent of that. Really don't use it much more than that. Jumped into real estate, or I guess been an entrepreneur really the entire time. Worked for an IT company out of college. Then I bounced around a little bit, wedding venue, e-commerce store, and then bounced into real estate in March of 21. Started with one short-term rental condo that turned into two, that turned into three. Went to an HOA meeting, and from there it went nuts from a management standpoint, and decided that we were just going to launch our own management company. So launched Creekwood Vacations in March of 2021, and it's been nothing but mass chaos since then.
Awesome. Wow, that's a quick success story, I guess,
Yeah.
Well, having said that now, we talked about this, but who can you help and who you looking to help and who you'd like to connect? I mean, you're a networker, so I'm sure you can help a lot of people, but there might be an area of focus there. So
Yeah, I think moving forward, who we'd really like to connect with and help along the most as we start to launch some coursework is individual operators that are at 10 or more units, specifically short-term rentals, and what all comes with that territory. When we were at 3, 4, 5 units, messaging guests every single day was really easy to just managed by ourselves. But as we've scaled that out to now 30, 32, 35 units, it becomes a much more difficult thing to manage by yourself. I have an incredible team behind me. Demetrius Beverford is my COO. Grant Lutz is our CFO and does our build outs. We have a phenomenal team as well on the ground. Cleaners have built those, as well as a great virtual assistant staff. I think there's 4 or 5. I don't work with them directly every day. Our COO does most of that. So I haven't had a ton of experience with them, but really, when you hit this wall, and you're going to hit a lot of walls in this business, from a short-term rental, anybody that's been an operator or managed any sort of short-term rental knows there's tons of little teeny tiny details that can just fall through the cracks. So really, who can we help and who can we connect with, whether you're at 1 unit, whether you're at 10 units, but really what I found is we've gotten coaching is when you get to a certain amount, sometimes those coaches that we have can't just help you anymore because they don't want to be big, right? They want to be profitable. They're just looking at this is where I'm at right here. And they haven't really worked past that breaking point where some of the walls that we run into. So that's really who I would like to connect with the most. If you're looking to get into short-term rentals, hit me up. I'd love to have a conversation. I'd love to bring value. I'm really anywhere I can. I was completely lost at the beginning. So anything that I can do to help at this point to maybe alleviate some of that, I'd love to help out.
awesome. So as you heard, Z, I mean, if you're looking at short-term rental or you're already doing short-term rental, but you're looking to scale up, believe me, I know it, I've done it. So I know scaling is a different issue, totally. So that's where you would want to reach out to Z. And like I said, he'll help out, even if you're new and you want to get into the short-term rental, maybe he can help you start from beginning to scale that the way he has done. So awesome, Z. And I'll be posting, whatever info I have, Z,
Yeah.
on my, posts and YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever you're looking at it. You should have links to his website or something, whatever I have information. So reach out to him. So Z, awesome. Obviously seems like you have gotten success really quickly. I'm guessing what's inspired you now, but let's get into that. What inspires you to get up and do what you do every day?
So I guess my emotional event, some people, say that they're pushed off a cliff sometimes. My emotional event goes back to 2018. June of 2018, I was fired from my job, my W-2 job. My little girl was born just 6 weeks later. So my
Wow.
first child came 6 weeks later. We did have some other operating entities on the side, so it wasn't a complete failure. But it was definitely a shove off the cliff. You have to be successful now, or your family's going to starve. And that was the catalyst for me in business to just go full force, dive full in. And even then, I wouldn't say our wedding venue was a complete success. We definitely failed in some aspects of the wedding venue that we were running at the time. And even our e-commerce business, right? We've ran into plenty of walls in that. And now in the STR business, walking into that, it's not, yes, you've seen some people say we're an overnight success. I've heard that before, but they weren't there for when we lost the client, or we ran into a wall with owner reporting and how the heck we were going to do owner reporting, or the first time we made it to 10 properties and all of the ring thermostats that we had in the properties weren't working correctly, and there was a temperature at 80 degrees on a guest when it should be at 72. Nobody sees that kind of stuff. And so my inspiration, what really inspires me, and people will say this, but not just my kids. So I've got three little girls under 4.5 now. Yeah, we've scaled that part quickly too. But that's what gets me up to going in the morning. Like, how can I provide for them the best life possible? And give myself the freedom as a business owner. Yes, I want to scale and I want to be successful, but I don't necessarily. Everybody talks about financial freedom and being able to go do whatever you want. I don't need the not financial part of it. I just want a team around me that understands what's important to me, and that's my children. And I've built that. And my team understands, 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. every single day. Boom, I'm gonna go spend time with my children. And there's stuff like this. It's 5:39 right now. I told my wife, hey, I'm gonna do this recording really quick, but then I'll be up there. As soon as this recording's done, boom, I'm up there, I'm with them. And just that ability and that team that I've built that understands that, even though some of them don't have kids of their own and they don't understand that, but just that freedom inside of our company, inside of our culture, to know that family comes first. That's really what drives me. That's what inspires me. That's what gets me out of bed every single morning, is just sometimes the little ones above my head at 5:30 in the morning, they get up just a little before me sometimes.
Awesome. That's a great story. I mean, yeah, that's pretty inspiring. I mean, I'm sure I could ask you questions on the whole how you went through the whole job loss and all that stuff. That
Yeah.
itself probably is a different story altogether.
That's a very in-depth story.
Yeah, I would imagine. So awesome. Maybe another podcast. All right. So Z, well, I mean, obviously you've done multiple enterprises or entrepreneur, journey, and obviously you're having a lot of success with this one. What's the one tip you can share, personal or professional, that you can share that has helped you, that can help others?
I would say this one's tough. This one's of course I had the questions beforehand, and it's still, there's so many things in my mind. And I think the number one thing that I hear from most people um, is the people around them. Who have you surrounded yourself with, and are they pushing you in the right direction? Are they going to cheer you on, or are they going to say, you're crazy? Hey, I want to start an STR business. Hey, I want to go tackle 160 doors in the next year. That's our goal. And some people think we're absolutely nuts. I think I'm absolutely nuts. I'm okay with that. But do you have people that are saying, let's go at least try? Let's push ourselves. Or do you have people that are surrounding yourself, and this can even be family members, saying, you shouldn't do this. You should quit. You should give up. I can't tell you how many times I let that affect me. I'm so curious, if I would have learned this 10 years ago, to not listen to the negative around me, how much further I would be, how much bigger of a company I would have been, how many more people I could have impacted had I just cut out the negativity. Just forget about everybody that is in this for their own good. They're only in this for me and me now. The number one core value in our company right now is people first, always. That's our core value, number one core value. And that comes from our whole team. That whether that's a team, but we want to push people to do what they can do and do what they have the ability to do. And I think that's really key and something that not a lot of people get, especially if we get into an entrepreneurship. If you're walking into entrepreneurship for the first time, you're in for a world of hurt. It is not easy. This is one of the most loneliest places that you could possibly talk about walking into
Mhm.
is entrepreneurship and running a company or starting a business. It's lonely. And so you need to surround yourself right now with people that are going to push you, that are people that are going to positively reinforce you, and people that aren't going to say you can't do that. So get rid of the negativity, gain some positive friends, circle yourself with a network that's going to push you.
Awesome. That's a great, great tip. Indeed. Yeah. I mean, there's too much negativity anyway. You don't need more negativity, especially when you're trying to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, that's a hard road journey. So awesome tip, Z. Again, like I said, I'll be posting Z's info, whatever I have, and reach out to him, especially short-term rental. He has other ventures too, by the way, but he'll share that when you talk to him. But it's not short term. He's a pretty diversified guy. So I encourage you guys to reach out to him. So anyway, Z, thanks a lot for taking the time. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.